Hi. Hi, Mum. Guess who filmed the first half of their very first YouTube video with the camera audio off? That's right, it's me. So here we see Emily explaining hydroponics with the delusional level of confidence that she has in all things that she's never done before. Unfortunately, no one heard it. So I'm going to really poorly overdub on my soundless videos. Without further ado, welcome to the Junk Show. Welcome to Emily Does the Doings.
She's doing a thing, or maybe it's two. There might be a plan, but who really knew? Some stuff gets made, some stuff gets done. It's probably fine, it's mostly for fun. Emily does things and stuff. Emily does the doings.
Autumn is well and truly here, and winter is coming. These guys were planted late this year, so they're only just starting to fruit, which is why I'm going to attempt to save them by converting them to hydroponics. I have no idea how well this will work, but I did watch half a YouTube video and read a few comments on Reddit about it, so I'm basically an expert now. The first thing you're going to want to do is dress for the doings. Holy shit, that jumpsuit's bright. What you'll need to start is some nursery pots, 5-gallon buckets with lids. I'm using River Rock, but you should probably use one of the other materials listed, Sharp Things, and hydroponic fertilizer. Now, pick your victims. I'm converting a Roma tomato, a purple capsicum, how good does that do look, a ghost pepper, and a jalapeno, even though this footage is of my shishito. I'm good at words. The next step is possibly optional depending on the size of your plants. If you're doing hydroponics the normal person way and starting with seedlings, you'll definitely want holes in the side of the nursery pots for the roots to go through. But if your plant is well established and a bit stubborn, the holes in the bottom of the pots should suffice. Next, you'll need to measure the inside diameter of your nursery pot, and then measure the lid so you know where to cut the hole. You'll then look at the lid and wonder if your box cutter is actually going to cut through it easily. Decide that it won't, and go find a drill and drill a whole bunch of holes. Then use your sharp thing of choice to cut the small pieces of plastic holding it all together. Check the fit. And you're good to go. Now, it's time to start digging. Loosen up the soil around the plant roots as much as possible to limit damage to the roots when you pull it out. If your plant has a support system, now's the time to rip it away from them. How about that face? Let's take a closer look. Sexy. I'm pretty sure I was questioning my choices at this point, but I could either leave these outside to die or just keep going and bring them in to also potentially die, but on my watch instead. Shake and beat as much soil off as you possibly can, and then we're going to wash the rest off. Now we can see Emily washing the roots as best she can. This was honestly pretty annoying to do with such a large plant. Some say big's better, but bigger's bigger. And in this particular case, bigger is definitely harder. The roots did not want to let go of the soil, and there was no easy way to do this. I luckily had an old trough I got from my in-laws that I'm planning on turning into a cold plunge. Shameless self-plug, that video will be coming up shortly. But I decided I'd make that job harder by making this one easier. Now that the roots are as soil-free as they're going to get, it's time to try and feed the roots through the holes in your nursery pot. At this point, my camera died and it started raining, so I finished preparing the rest of the pots and lids, got my tomatoes hydroponicized, and we welcome back audio. Okay, we have our pots holed, we have our lids hold, and we are ready to get the rest of our victims desoiled. Or as there was a nursery ad that used to run in Australia, I don't know if it's still on, it probably is, but as they would say, it's time to get bare rooted. And let's do that tomorrow. See you then. It's tomorrow. As you can see, I am sitting inside with my outside very much soiled plants. So I decided to bring them in last night because it's been getting way too cold overnight, and realistically I should have brought these guys in and done the whole hydroponic thing like a week or two ago. And I mean, honestly, they're kind of sad. They're sad, and I feel like they're judging me for being a bad plant mom, and I don't want to be a bad plant mom. So I'm trying my best. So I am doing a static hydroponic setup. This is a 5-gallon bucket with a water nutrient solution in it that the roots that are dangling through the bottom of the nursery pot are going to drink, and that water's not, there's no pumps, it's not getting circulated, nothing is really happening to it. So I'm just gonna top up the water level as is needed, and I'll change out the mixture probably every 2 weeks. Obviously, if I need to tweak that as time goes on, I will, but that's the plan for now. So let's get the rest of these guys and their new homes. Okie dokie. Whee. So the first thing you're going to want to figure out is how far into the bucket the bottom of the nursery pot is going to sit. So it's a little over halfway. So I am going to try and fill the water just below that line, so only the roots are dangling their little tootsies. Because I couldn't get all the soil off. So if you're doing it the way that I'm doing it, which I don't even know if that's advisable currently, there will be soil remaining close to the root ball. So if you can avoid getting any of that wet and sitting in water, it'll give these plants a much better chance at survival. So let's fill with water. I need some more. Here we go. I'm gonna test that. I reckon that'll do. So that was probably like 3.5 gallons. So this is the hydroponic nutriment fertilizer that I'm going to be using. It is specifically designed for hydroponics. You can't just use any old fertilizer for this. A lot of them are developed specifically for soil. And if you're doing what I am doing, do not put the full strength on the instructions in the bucket initially. You will burn the roots, it will kill the plant. I don't know the exact formula or how you should ease them in. The general feeding recommends 2 teaspoons for every gallon of water. I am going to put in 1 tablespoon, which is 3 teaspoons. Is that right? Probably. Yes. Yes. So, way less than what is instructed, but we need them to acclimatize without killing them. Bloop. I really hope this works. I have no advice on how to do this properly. I'm just give it your best. I feel like I'm ripping half of these, but anyway, I have got some little dudes in the bottom. And now I'm going to use River Rock to stabilize them. Also, River Rock is not the preferred method for this. It's just what I had on hand. I'll put up a list of far better things to use than what I'm using. But again, it's an experiment. And if it works, then great, because these are heaps cheaper. All right, 1 and done. You can leave now, sir. Excuse me, sir. Please get off. Get out of my salon. Yeah. All right, now for the other 2. Alright. Hell yeah. So that is all the plants that I'm hydroponics. Let's get them set up in their new home. That is the doings done for me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be doing 2-week updates on my hydroponics, and I'm quite sure there'll be a lot of lessons learned along the way. Thank you so much for watching. Now it's time to get out there and do your own doings. See you next time.